There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
You don't sound surprised.
All property is theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to.
She got my head in a spin. Listen, babe, do you think you're going my way? Stop the car, I wanna get in. Jasmine, she got right through my skin. Jasmine, well, I'm hooked so deep way in. Jasmine, okay, I lose you in. She's so cool, she's pure adrenaline.
Broken Sword 5: The Serpent's Curse is the latest installment in the Broken Sword franchise. The series' main protagonists, Nico and George, reunite at an art exhibition in Paris, where a robbery takes place, ending with the murder and the theft of a mysterious painting.
Nobody move!
As expected, Nico and George takes up the case, and without going into any spoilers, the investigation involves French detectives.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh? Pal?
Bohemian artists, snobby waiters.
Madame,
Bonjour, monsieur.
whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappes.
Sinister conspiracies, ancient cults, and of course some humor.
My God! Nico!
What is it?
This telescope! It's free!
If we start with the presentation, then the series have moved back to 2D backgrounds, and they look lovely. They are so colorful and nice, and really a treat to look at. The 3D models looks nice as well, but they can sometimes look a bit out of place on the 2D backgrounds. It is not a big deal, but it is noticeable. I also like the voice acting, and I found the music charming. The presentation is in general really nice, and it helps me to get into the game's atmosphere and story, which is so important in a game like this.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Nave's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Nave's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Moore?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
Sadly, the story didn't truly do it for me. The dialogue is well written, and the story certainly has its moments. I also liked both the main characters, and the game can be funny, dramatic and heartfelt at times. But it also has pacing issues, and it can be a bit dull at times. I never found the main mystery to be very engaging, and the main antagonist is painfully underdeveloped and boring. I also feel like they have spread the story a bit too thin and that it would have benefited from being a bit more focused. There are a lot of characters from the older games that show up, and while the superfans might appreciate the fan service, I don't believe that they add very much to the experience. Another issue is that the story is split into 2 different chapters and they feel a bit disjointed. Another issue is that the reason for both main characters to be involved are a bit flimsy, especially for George. The main characters also have no character development, and nothing all that interesting is done with them. Looking back at my old Broken Sword 3 review, I see a lot of similarities, although I do prefer this game's plot to the third one. The plot is not very good. It is cartoon stuff and not a good one. The antagonists are underdeveloped. The mystery is not very interesting and there is very little background lore. The story is not personal for the protagonist and characters are introduced just to be tossed aside the next moment. It's like a bad filler episode. Perhaps long-time fans will get something more out of this plot, but I doubt it. With that being said, there are plenty of good scenes and the dialogue is in general very good. I don't want to sound too negative when it comes to the plot, as the plot is okay, but I don't think that it is good enough for a story-driven adventure game to have an okay plot. It should be memorable, it should be great, and I don't think it is. I think the story would have benefited from focusing on fewer characters and fewer storylines. Despite the lackluster story, an adventure game can still be comfy though, and this game certainly is that with its nice dialogues and presentation.
This painting, there's something familiar about it.
It's a woman's buttocks, George.
I know that, but I recognize him.
There is another problem though that I have, and that is the pacing issues caused by the puzzles. The puzzles are initially fine, and I enjoyed them, but in the second chapter they increase the difficulty quite a bit, and I am no longer in the comfy zone when I get stuck and have to look up guides and hints to proceed all the time. Puzzle difficulty is a hard thing, and I know that I am a dummy, but I have it on good authority that there is a lot of dummies on the planet, so I am not alone with this problem. Perhaps this is a question of mindset and what you are looking for in an adventure game, but I don't like it when I get stuck too often, and this happened in the later part of this game. Getting stuck on clever puzzles can still be fine though, and the game do have some clever ones, which I still appreciated. However, the game also have some really dumb puzzles as well. I will give you one example, so prepare for some minor spoilers. I want to connect 2 parts of a circuit board with a paper clip. George refuses to go anywhere near the circuit board while the power is on, and for some reason turning it off is not an option. So how do you do this? Well, I couldn't figure it out. I considered creating some kind of tool which would allow George to place the clip without going near the circuit board, but the game wouldn't allow it. Here is the correct solution. I will let you decide if this is a reasonable solution or if it is batshit insane.
Well, I'd done stranger things in my life. The paperclip was now all sticky. I stuck the paperclip to Trevor's back. I bet he could work in an office now. Trevor could help, but I couldn't just throw him in there. I set him down at the edge where it was safe. Go, Trevor, go! Poor Trevor looked like he needed therapy, but the console was working.
I have a test for adventure games, and that is if I am engaged enough to eat kebab while playing it. Perhaps you don't get it, and the point is that to maximize happiness while eating kebab, you need to either watch or play something which you know will be great. There is no greater waste in life than eating something unhealthy while doing something which is not fun. Broken Sword 5 failed that test, and I ended up watching something instead. Don't get me wrong, Broken Sword 5 is a competent game, but I didn't love it or truly connect to it. It was fun while I played it, but I didn't feel a great pull to continue playing it. Perhaps, if the story and puzzles would have been greater, then I would have ended up eating a kebab while playing it, but that did not happen. With this said, I would certainly recommend it to fans of the genre and fans of the franchise. It is a competent game after all, just don't expect too much.
So, we clear on how we're going to do this?
Yeah, we're two insurance investigators, see? We finagle our way inside, butter Madovsky up, and then get the dirt on it, right?
Finagle?
Yeah, finagle. You remember how to finagle, don't you, Nico?
George, how could I ever forget?